Visit tcgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your first purchase with TCG Center 5 code. How's it going, Pokefans? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Today I'm going to show you my Mega Alakazam Espeon-GX deck that I decided to build for the standard format. So yeah, let's just take a look at some cards inside. So 16 Pokemon, 33 trainer cards, and 11 energies. So what is the strategy of this deck? So the strategy is to start with the Eevee in the front, attach Psychic Energy to your Espeon-GX, and of course use Psybeam and leave your opponent active Pokemon confused. Turn 2. Attach double Course Energy and depend on the situation, use the YGX or Psychic. So simply with the YGX you can put 10 damage counters to your opponent's Pokemon in play, and with the Psychic you can just go for 60 plus 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's it. So Espeon is here to help us spread the damage around the board so Zen Force Mega Alakazam can just simply one-hit knockout anything on the field. Let's say our opponent has 5 damage counters, it's going to be 160 with the Zen Force, and so far and so far. Also, for the backup support, I'm running one copy of Baby Hoopa with a Hyperspace Punch because he can also snipe for the 20 on the bench, and sometimes that can be good, especially against those decks who actually run those combis and West Queens and stuff like that. Definitely very good for just a single energy card. Of course, Hoopa-EX that's Conduring will allows me to search my deck for 3 EXs and set them up. Very important, because I can always grab my Alakazams and Mega Alakazams. The reason why I decided to run one Hoopa-EX is just from that, and I can also set up my Shaymins. And of course, 3 copies of Eevee with the Energy Evolution and 3 copies of Espeons makes a lot of sense, just because we really want to use the advantage of the Espeon. What's the big disadvantage of this deck? Definitely weakness of the Psychic. So basically, Mega Mewtwo is not going to be that big problem, because Mega Mewtwo cannot apply a weakness. But Mega Gardevoir Dual with the Desperate is going to be a big problem. But trust me, even Mega Gardevoir can be beaten. It's not unbeatable. So, as I mentioned earlier, 16 Pokemons, 33 trainer cards. What I'm running from the trainer cards? Of course, 2 copies of Devolution Spray, so I can just devolve my Mega Alakazam back into Alakazam, or even Espeon if I need it. Why Devolution Spray is good? Also, let's say you have 190 HP on your Espeon-GX, and your Espeon-GX is going to be knocked down next turn. You can just use something like a Devolution Spray, devolve your Espeon, knock down your Eevee, allows your opponent to take 1 prize instead of the 2, and just attack with something else. You can exchange 1 prize for 2 prize cards. In my opinion, that's also a good idea. 2 copies of Escape Rope, of course, for those Try 9 Evil Towels, and anything else, because I'm not running Floatstones or Olympia in this deck. 2 copies of Mega Turbos, simply to get energy acceleration to my Mega Alakazam. Single Super Rod, 4 copies of Trainers Mail and 4 Ultra Balls for the best consistency, featuring 4 copies of AD Seeker. Stadium line. Well, of course, 2 copies of Sky Fields. Each player can have up to 8 Pokemon on his bench. Why is Sky Field so good? Because, well, I really need to set up my bench with as many Pokemon as I can, with as many Alakazams as I can, so there's the reason why Sky Field is the best choice for this deck. Of course, in the standard format. Delinquent also to give me advantage and a little bit of disruption, and of course control when I just want to get rid of my Pokemon with damage counters. 1 copy of Hex Maniac, so I can shut down the abilities. 1 Lysandre, of course, 2 copies of N, so I can simply end my opponent to 1 or 2 cards depending on how many prizes he take. 4 copies of Professor Sycamore, this card hand drop 7 cards, 3 Spirit Links, and 11 energies in total. 4 of them, of course, double course energies, and 7 of them are going to be just a regular basic Psychic energies. Overall, deck list is very balanced. It's built very carefully, and I spent a lot of time playing with this deck, and I must say that it works just perfect. It's perfect build. I managed to beat even decks who actually have a huge advantage against me. You wouldn't believe me, but you should actually see that in the upcoming video test for this deck. So yeah, my advice is definitely to import this and try to play with it, because it's a lot of fun. You can just spread so multiple damage counters around the board. With the Espeon, you can also snipe on the bench with your Suppression. You can also snipe on the bench with the Kinesis. You have so many different options to do with this deck. as long as there is no Garbodor around. So let's do some game tests so you can actually see this deck in action. And of course, if you're looking for any cards, make sure to check TCGcastle.com. Make sure to check the link in my video description. Also, if you have bulk for trade, you can trade 1,400 cards for the Sun and Moon booster box. I do that, and I pull Secret Rare Ultra Ball, so I cannot hide my happiness, so make sure to check that. Also, TCG Center 5 code will get you 5% discount on your purchase, so make sure to check that. See you in the game. Okay, so I want the coin flip, and I'm gonna start first. Let's take a look at the opening hand. Okay, looks interesting. There is one Eevee, and there is one Alakazam. Also Ultra Ball, and a Super Rod. So I'm gonna try to get that energy so I can evolve into my Espeon. Very important. Oh, another Eevee. That's cool. And Mr. Shaymin for the top deck. Let's just grab another Alakazam. I don't even need Hoopa at this moment. That's just insane. So set up clearly for 5, almost for 6. Just give me the Psychic Energy. Psychic Energy is all I need, and maybe one Spirit Link. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Spirit Link, a Energy. So I'm gonna get my Espeon. I have one more Shaymin, but I'm somehow thinking about maybe just grabbing the Hoopa for next turn. Somehow Hoopa is gonna be very powerful, especially if I can pull something like another Spirit Link. Okay, Trubbish. Mr. Trubbish, you needs to be knocked out as fast as I can do that. So, Ultra Ball for Trubbish, Sycamore for 7, Lysandre discarded. I have double Force Energy in my hand, which means that I can use either way my Psychic or Divine GX as a top deck. Ooh la la, look at this. An Escape Rope top deck. Well, guess what? Ultra Ball for Shaymin. I'm gonna set up for 5 because I really need something else here. Something else like a Mega Alakazam and Spirit Link, and Sycamore, or even better, Lysandre. Well, there is a Mega Alakazam. Okay, then I can just Devolution Spray, or I can just use my Divide GX. It's gonna be Divide GX. First, I'm gonna knock out his Trubbish because he's the biggest threat at this moment. I really need to use my abilities. I'm relying on my abilities. And of course, I'm gonna put as many damage counters as I can to his Yveltal-EX. There we go. And guess what? Next turn, even if he decides to attach energy card from his hand to Yveltal, I can just knock him out with my Psychic. That's just insane. There we go. So second energy, another Flowstone, and Evil Ball for 130. Alright, so I can go for 60. Plus 60, that's 120. Oh, I'm gonna be short. Guess what? I can always Ultra Ball. No! 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 I discarded the wrong card. Damn. Yeah, never mind. I fixed that. Boom, Zen Force. 250. What a good combo. What a good combo that was. Another Espeon and another Alakazam. So I'm gonna have another Espeon, and I can just goes with my Psyche in the front and attack. So no worry. Ultra Ball for Shaymin cannot be, because he cannot set up. It's just for the Evoltal. Which means I'm gonna retreat and I'm gonna just knock out his Garbodor with my... Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. He's not allowed me to do that, so since he won't allow me to do that, I'm gonna do something like this. Alright. Since I cannot Mega Evolve right now, let's just use a Psychic. Yeah, it's gonna be just for 40. I realize the Garbodor is in play. Oh, cool. Finally. A Lysandre. And a Psychic. For 120. And next turn I can just simply put my Mega Alakazam. Spread some damage counters around the board. Goes with the Psychic. Go with the Psyburn. Psybeam even better. Oh, Shaymin for setup for 5. Cool. So he's back in the game. I'm down to 2 prize cards. So I definitely need to evolve my Mega Alakazam and set up at least one more Mega Alakazam. So I'm thinking about if he misses energy this turn. There is no ending my opponent discard pile. Oh, luckily no energy with that. Whew, luckily no energy with the Max Elixir. A Sycamore for 7. Okay. Good news, 2 Flow Stones already in discard pile, 2 Trubbish in the discard pile. So without Super Rod, I will not see Garbodor the rest of the game. My turn. That's just fantastic. Yes, of course, we want to spread some damage counters. Sycamore for 7. Yep, there we go. Energy attachment. Ultra Ball. Guess what? For V Seeker and M. For another Mega Alakazam. That's gonna be 4 damage counters. Basically, next turn I have Weak 3 in my hand. I have Weak 3. All I really need is just a V Seeker for Lysandre, and I'm gonna do that right now. $130. $130 is the max damage I can go with my Mega Alakazam at this moment. So 10 plus 30 for each damage counter my opponent Pokemon. So since he had 40, that's 120 plus 10, 130, and 30, 160. So Evoltal would stay with 10 HP. I decide just to confuse him. He can always try to get retreat somehow. Oh no, there is a, and as expected. Well, I mean, I showed him that I have Lysandre and the Weak 3 in my hand, but even if he cannot retreat, the game is going to be over. There's a Fighting Fury Belt, but still not going to be enough. Still, it's not going to be enough. Oh, Escape Rope. What about that? You can have my Espeon in the front, buddy. Just because I have 1 retreat cost. So, yeah, you can have it. So, tools not working anymore. The top deck for me is going to be a V Seeker. Sycamore for 7. Ooh, Trainers Mail. For the Mega Turbo. Yes, I can power up another energy to my another Mega Alakazam. I'm gonna play Escape Rope and see what he can promote in the active position. Of course, it's gonna be Shaymin. Of course, it's gonna be Shaymin-EX, but I don't need to worry too much about the Shaymin. I'm gonna put my Espeon-GX. Trainers Mail for Devolution Spray. I can also use the advantage of the Devolution Spray for the next turn. There we go. And guess what? Psych for 60. Okay. How long my opponent can survive? That's the good question at this moment. That's a really, really good question. Because I can just keep trolling him with my suppression, putting 3 damage counters, which basically means, oh, a Lysandre. Well played. Retreat. And he cannot attack. He cannot attack, which means that I can just use my Trainer's Mail and get myself finally a Lysandre for the victory. And that's gonna be a energy attachment. And I can retreat down to my Mega Alakazam, so I can finish the job. Yeah, I'm gonna knock out that Darkrai because he's the strongest one in the game. So 290 damage to the Darkrai. I could even do more damage counters because I had one more Mega Alakazam. So the game is definitely over in my favor. You wouldn't believe that, but also very bad start for my opponent. Okay, so I'm starting with the Eevee. Energy Evolution Eevee. Alright. So on the other side, it's a Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir versus Mega Alakazam. Ooh. So hard matchup, especially if it's a dual Gardevoir on the other side, because I'm weak to the Psychic. Yep, the first one discarded, and there is a Hoopa-EX. Okay. What's the strategy? I don't know. Espeon is weak on the Psychic. Mega Alakazam is weak to the Psychic. I'm not running weakness policies because it's not good for this deck, so... Well, in theory I can win. But how bad my opponent can drop? That's the good question. I can always confuse his Gardevoir, and if he can miss Mega Gardevoir, then there's a good chance maybe to do something. If I was first, I would have more options. And right now he even decides to end. Okay, I pulled one Hoopa, so it's not that bad. Alright, Gardevoir Spirit Link. So I can expect to see a Mega Gardevoir next turn without question. So Trainer's Mail for the Sky Field. So he even do me a favor here with the Sky Field. But he didn't put it on the bench. Okay, let's see what I can find with the Hoopa. Of course, 2 Alakazams and 1 Shaymin. There we go. So 1, 2. Ultra Ball for N and Mega Alakazam. For another Eevee. Time for the Super Rod. And time for the setup of 4 extra cards. Well, I'm gonna do my best in this game, but I don't think I can win. I simply don't think I can win. I don't even have energy card at this moment. Oh boy. If I miss energy attachment right now to my Eevee, this is gonna be so tough. Luckily, there is 1 energy. But 0 Spirit Links. I mean, I'm gonna try to confuse him at least. I mean, really, 3 damage counters, it's not bad, especially if I can just counter him and knocks him out with my Mega Alakazam next turn. Because I'm gonna be able to do that, As long as he will have 5 damage counters and his Mega God Award, that's going to be more than enough for the knockout. It's going to be 160 from my Mega Alakazam Zen Force. So, let's see. First thing, he needs to get a Ultra Ball or Mega God Award to evolve into the Mega God Award. Speaking about Mega God Award, there we go. Energy is here. I wish I had weakness policy in this deck. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna have Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is gonna be for Shaymin-EX. Okay, cool. Body Rescue for another Mega God of War. But so far, 0 Mega Turbos, 0 energies in his discard pile. That's good. If I can at least buy a single turn, that's all I really need. Okay, Ultra Ball, Sycamore for 7, no energy still, that's fine. Still no energy. Alright, so 240. Yeah, it's time for the Alakazam-EX. It's time for Alakazam to do the job here. Okay, so far, good piece of puzzle found. So, how many Mega Turbos I have? 2. And 6 energies. Well, I just need Mega Turbo. Set up for 5 and then it's gonna be Sycamore for 7. That's like 12 cards. 12 cards of hope. No way. I pulled Mega Turbo, but I'm gonna be forced to discard it. No way. Oh, there is another one. Okay. There's another Mega Turbo in my hand, but how to charge another Mega Alakazam? How to do that? That's not gonna be possible, but what is gonna be possible is definitely that Confuse. So Zen Force is enough for the knockout. It's 160 plus 50, that's 210. I'm gonna pull 2 prize cards here. It's gonna be Hoopa and a Trainers Mail. 3 damage counters on his Mega Guardy, so he needs Mega Turbo and Energy. If he missed a single turn of the Mega Turbo and Energy card, this is gonna be so devastating for my opponent. It's really important right now not to find Mega Turbo. But he have like 8 cards in his hand and energy in his discard pile, so he just need that Mega Turbo for the knockout. Then the best thing I can do is try to respond somehow with my Psy Beam and end down to 2. And still, it's gonna be up to the coin flip. If he flips the hands on the coin flip, the game is gonna be over. Because I don't have another Mega Turbo. I was forced to discard Mega Turbo. I wish I didn't need to discard my Mega Turbo. So there's a Dragonite EX. And of course, guess what? This is gonna be for Shaymin-EX and Gardevoir-EX. Because you simply need to pull 2 basic Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Alright, waiting. Need to be very patient. Okay, so just another Dragonite EX. Okay, it says you might pull 2 basic Pokemons. And right now he decided to grab that Guardy and that Shaymin. But he can't even set up. He can't even set up, which means only one thing. I just need another Mega Alakazam. And kaboom. Guess what's gonna happen? For that I have 2 copies of Trainers Mails. Okay. There was a Mega Turbo. There was a Mega Turbo. Is that it? I mean, I don't know. It's still up to the coin flip. It's still up to the coin flip. If he flip heads, the game is over. If he pulls a V-Seeker for, I don't know, maybe a Lysandre or even first a Lysandre, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Espeon, please bring me the victory here. Trainers Mail for Lysandre. That's not something I would like to grab. So I can play one more Trainers Mail before I end. Ultra Ball. I wish Ultra Ball came a little bit earlier, so I can snipe one more Mega Alakazam. Speaking about one more Mega Alakazam, just managed to pull one. Yes. Let's go to the Rattata. And Psybeam. That's all. That's all, guys. I mean, literally, I do my best. Next turn, I can try to find maybe another Mega Alakazam and get double Course Energy for the knockout. Another energy already attached, and it's flip a coin. It's a flip a coin, and I hope it's gonna be tails. Oh, it's AN. Okay. Mega God of War number 2 and Mega Turbo for my opponent for the victory. I pulled double Course Energy, so... Oh, he took 3 damage counters back. Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me here. He pulled... Look at this. Another Devolution Spray in my hand. I have 2 Devolution Sprays. Means only one thing. Means only one thing. I cannot know what he had in his hand. Since he already have 2 cards, the best thing for me to do is just to play a V-Seeker for Hex Maniac. And to strike with my Psy hit for 120. So that's gonna be knockout. And next turn, basically, I have victory with my DY-GX. Because I can simply knock out his Rattata and Remoraid on the bench. But the question is, can he find all he really needs? He needs a Mega God of War and he needs energy cards. I played Hex Maniac, which means that he cannot grab them from the discard pile with the Dragonite, but he can always Super Rod them. Decided not to play V-Seeker for the end. It's all about this third. It's all about, can he get a Mega Guardy, an energy card for the victory? Let's see. 2 Mega Gardevoirs in his discard pile. He plays in total 3 of them. He can Buddy Buddy Rescue, of course. Oh, whew, Enhanced Hander. Oh, that's it? Well, if that's it, I'm gonna max out his Rattata. And I'm gonna pull a double Colorless. Just a Sky Field. So close. So close. The moment of truth. A V-Seeker for the Sycamore. And before I decide to do that, I'm just gonna devolve my Mega Alakazam and discard him in my discard pile, just in case. Sycamore for 7. For the victory. Yes. A double Chorus Energy. And the wide GX for the knockout against his Remoraid. I cannot believe. I simply cannot believe. I managed to beat a Mega Gardevoir with a weakness. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, Espeon in combination with Mega Alakazam is so broken, and it's very good. It's very interesting to play. It's not a tier 1 deck, not even maybe a tier 2 deck, but it's so interesting to play with it that I simply enjoy playing it. I mean, it's so damn good to play. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. That's my Mega Alakazam Espeon-GX deck list. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. As always, if you have any questions, make sure to leave comments below or send me a message to the Facebook. If you would like to see something on my YouTube, if you have any deck you would like to play but you don't have cards for it, just send me a list in my Facebook inbox and I can definitely do that and test for you. So have a nice day till the next time. See you in the next video and goodbye.